Welcome to our deep dive into the world of neuroscience. It's amazing how much cool stuff we've been seeing lately. Mini brains, Alzheimer's research, even tech that could change how we think about thinking.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild.
It really has. We've got a mix of research summaries, scientific breakthroughs, and even some hints about how this stuff might actually affect our lives. Ready to extract the most fascinating and relevant insights from all this brain science.
Let's get to it.
Okay, first up is the cerebellum. I always thought it was just about, you know, balance and coordination, like when you're learning to ride a bike.
Right, that was the traditional view. But new research is showing the cerebellum is involved in much more than just motor skills.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a study from October 22nd that highlights its role in social interactions and higher level cognitive functions.
So it's not just about physical movement.
Exactly. And this is a pretty big deal because it changes how we think about the brain as a whole. It's not just a collection of separate parts with specific jobs. It's a highly integrated system where different regions are constantly interacting and influencing each other.
Hmm. That makes me think about that article you sent from October 15th about how we learn motor skills.
Yeah.
It talked about how the cerebellum helps form both short-term and long-term motor memories. So the next time I nail that tennis serve, I can thank my cerebellum for more than just balance, right?
Absolutely. And think about the implications. If the cerebellum plays a role in things like social skills and decision making, it could change how we approach conditions like autism or ADHD, which are often associated with difficulties in these areas.
Wow, that's really interesting. It makes you realize how much we still have to learn about the brain.
Definitely. And the more we learn, the more possibilities open up for treating diseases and improving lives.
Okay, that segues perfectly into brain-boosting interventions. This is where science fiction starts to feel a little less fictional. There was that study from October 9th about enhancing hearing with vagus nerve stimulation. Can you imagine boosting your musical ear just by stimulating a nerve?
It's pretty remarkable. The vagus nerve is this long nerve that connects the brain to various organs in the
Hmm.
body. And stimulating it during sound training was shown to actually enhance sound perception. It has huge potential for musicians or people with hearing impairments.
And then there's the research from October 10th on magnetically controlled gene therapy, using magnetic fields to control gene therapy in the brain. That just sounds so futuristic.
It really is cutting-edge stuff. What's so incredible about this approach is the level of precision. By using magnetic fields, scientists can target very specific brain circuits with gene therapy. This opens up possibilities for treating neurological disorders in a way we never could before.
So how does this magnetic gene therapy actually work? Can you give me a quick ELI 5?
Sure. Imagine you have a tiny package of therapeutic genes that you want to deliver to a very specific part of the brain. Now imagine you can attach these genes to tiny particles that are sensitive to magnetic fields. By using external magnets, you can guide these particles and the therapeutic genes they carry to the exact location in the brain where they're needed. It's like having a microscopic GPS for gene delivery.
So we're talking about targeting areas of the brain that were previously unreachable with traditional methods.
Exactly. It's about getting the right treatment to the right place at the right time, and that's a game changer for conditions like Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, and even brain tumors.
It's mind-blowing to think about the possibilities. It's like we're entering a new era of brain science.
Absolutely, and it's an exciting time to be following these advancements.
Okay, before we go full-on sci-fi, let's bring it back down to earth with some mental health insights. We all know how important sleep is, but did you know there's a new 2-minute test that can assess chronic sleepiness?
Yes, this test highlighted in research from October 16th is incredibly valuable because it can help identify people at risk for a variety of health problems, including accidents related to fatigue.
Wow, I'm definitely going to have to check that out. And on a more serious note, there was some research from October 10th on mental health risk factors for children who have experienced trauma.
I think understanding why some kids are more vulnerable to PTSD, anxiety, or depression after a traumatic event is so important.
It is crucial. By identifying those risk factors early on, we can provide targeted interventions and support to help these children build resilience and cope with their experiences. We can even potentially prevent the development of more serious mental health conditions down the line.
And it all ties back to what we were discussing earlier about the brain being so interconnected. That study from October 25th on negativity, bias, and depression was really fascinating. It suggests that problems with certain neurons in the amygdala might be behind those overly negative perceptions that are common in depression.